Hi, my name is Amber Mills. I'm running for County Commission District 1.
Amber, why do you want to be a county commissioner?
I want to be a county commissioner because I feel that I can make a difference, a good difference. I think the county commission now is doing a good job, and I want to keep heading in that direction, paying down the debt and lowering taxes.
Paying down the debt. Tell me about that.
Well, our debt was over $1 billion, and
The county's debt.
yes, and
Yeah.
they've nearly cut it in half, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to keep staying that route. I think one of the biggest things for the incoming county commission will be to stay that line and not go back to the ways of spending.
Do you feel like our tax rate is too high right now?
I do. We're
It's the highest in the
state, yeah. Way too high, and I would like to lower taxes.
Do you have any ideas about how to keep cutting? I mean, they've shaved a few points off of it.
Yeah. Just keep finding efficiencies in the county government and what we can do better and refine to help save the taxpayer money.
Mm-hmm. What do you do for a living?
I am retired.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. I worked for Delta Airlines and retired from them. And I worked with an anti-terrorism consulting firm as their national accounts manager.
Was that in Memphis?
No. That was outside of D.C., Virginia area.
What did you do for them?
I was their national accounts manager.
Wow. How'd you get to Shelby County?
My husband was hired with FedEx, and that's what brought us here. He's a pilot.
Still?
Yes.
How long have you lived in Shelby County?
Since 2006. So.
And have you always lived in District 1?
Yes.
So tell me about District 1. What does it encompass, and what are the concerns and priorities of
District 1 is the largest geographic district of the 13 in Shelby County. It basically goes from the Arkansas line to Fayette County, Tipton County line to north of 385, and a pocket of Cordova, 64, right in front of the Costco there. And I live in Arlington. And
so you'd be representing Arlington?
Yes.
And
Millington. And
Millington. Wow.
Yes.
It's a big
It's
area.
a large area.
Quite a lot of diversity.
Yes.
Municipalities and unincorporated areas. Any parts of Memphis in there too?
There is a pocket of Memphis and a pocket of Cordova.
Okay. As you talk to people, and of course you live there, what are some of the concerns that folks in District 1 have?
Taxes, one. Services. The whole issue with the sewer and growth would be one issue. And good education. We have a lot of families out there. They want good schools for their children.
So when it comes to things like services, growth and development issues like sewers, what do you think you could do as a county commissioner to help with that?
Well, I would listen to the experts because I am not an expert in the sewage business, but I hear I'm going to learn real fast once elected, and we've got to figure that out, because without that you completely stop growth of all kinds.
There's a lot of discussion lately about growth and development issues, economic development, the use of tax incentives to not only recruit companies to come in, but also to help grow and retain companies that are here. Are you in favor of using tax incentives like pilots and TIFs?
I like to keep all the tools in the toolbox. I like TIFs, yes. Pilots on a case-by-case basis. I don't think it should be offered to, say, a business that only hires temporary workers or seasonal workers. If it brings a number of jobs that people can come in and make a livable wage, then the pilot should be looked at, but not automatically. And it should be assessed a few years. Are they doing what they said they were going to do to receive the pilot?
And you also talked about education. What do you think a Shelby County Commissioner can do to aid education?
Well, fund it.
Fund it.
It's one of the biggest parts of the budget, and accountability.
Talk to me about that. You're talking about holding schools accountable?
Yes, making sure that the money the taxpayers are paying is being used the way it should be used to help educate our kids, because they need a quality education.
You'll be representing areas that have municipal schools, districts, also Shelby County schools. Do you feel like that'll be a challenge because they're sort of serving different constituencies and they have different issues at different scales?
No, I don't think that'll be an issue.
What's good for Millington schools will be good for Shelby County schools?
No. I mean, well, yes, in the sense that they all need to be funded and efficient and do the job that they're set up to do. Every area has a different, not need, but set of circumstances.
Talk about that. I mean, Millington has different needs and, I guess, issues than, say, Arlington. Yeah. So what is it that the Millington folks are concerned about? What would you be focusing on?
Bringing the schools to the quality education that the residents want there. In Arlington, well, that's why there's such a boom in Arlington right now, because their schools are, when they got their own school system, they are very good, and people are moving there. They can't build houses fast enough. One goes on the market, it's sold before the day's out, because the families are moving in to move their children to go to the schools there.
And then there are all kinds of growth and development issues, like you mentioned, sewers. Right now, sewers are largely sort of the purview of the city of Memphis. Do you feel like that needs to change? Should the county get more involved in that sort of thing?
That I would have to learn more about.
Sure, yeah.
But it's something that needs to be addressed and worked out, because you can't not have sewage.
Yeah. So there are lots of ways to serve. There are lots of ways to be involved in public issues and things like that. Why did you decide you wanted to run for public office, become an elected official?
Well, I've been involved locally with the Republican Party. I've gotten to know our local elected officials, or ours in the state, and I'm retired. And when the seat came open, I went to the current sitting county commissioner and the mayors and
Terry Rowland.
Yes, Terry Rowland, and to get there, they thought I'd be a good asset to serving District 1, and they agreed. So I looked into it, and it would be a good fit, because I am retired, and I can make this part-time job my full-time job.
Have you always wanted to run for public office? Is this something new?
Not. I've never thought to run for public office. I thought I might be a campaign manager or something along those lines. But
so now you're in front of the camera.
So now,
it's a little different.
It is. It is. It's a whole new ball game. Something I haven't experienced before.
I would guess as a candidate, you'd have to have some kind of drive, because I mean, you're putting yourself out there so much all the time. Something must compel you to go through that and say, I want to do this, I want to be a representative of the people.
Well, I think my core belief set matches those of the people in District 1, that government should be small and efficient and do what it's meant to do, and not grow to be bigger than the people need, and that where it's not serving the people as it was meant to. And I think I'm a good voice for that.
So what have you learned about yourself while you've been campaigning?
What have I learned about myself? That learning to walk into crowds and groups that you otherwise would not meet and introduce yourself instead of standing back. That's all new. So it has been a new experience.
What have you learned about the community that you didn't know?
That I didn't know.
Have you been in parts of the community you hadn't been in before?
Yes. I've gone around, and it's very big. You use a lot of gas.
Right. Big county.
Yes, it is. But I know there are issues around Millington. Their issue is the gravel pit. I didn't know all the ins and outs of that, and so that was new to me to learn and listen about their concerns with that.
Now there are parts of this county that are booming, really. Parts in the suburbs that are growing and developing very well, like Arlington you mentioned. There are also parts of this county, North Memphis, South Memphis, North Haven, and your district, that are struggling, that are very distressed. What can the county commission do to help the areas like North and South Memphis that need more investment, that aren't getting the investment they need?
Well, I like tips for that, but we need to That little crime, education, jobs. It's the wheel that needs to be fixed, and start with one and I think the others will come in to be easier to fix. If you started with crime, if you got rid of it and improved education, well, why is there crime? Well, because maybe the education isn't well enough to better themselves to be more contributing to the community. So once you fix that little circle of elements there, I think it would help.
Big job. Is there anything I didn't ask you about that you wanted to make sure you let folks know?
I'm looking forward to serving the community and listening and working on the county commission. It would be exciting.
Great. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.